so I can tell some of the same stories. So, yes, I'm Alison, and I was the nasty Nellie on Little House on the Prairie. And I did that for 7 years, which is an incredibly long time, and it was really good. I guess the first thing I'll talk about this morning, and I'll do it again, is the fact that how I got the show, that is how it all started. They'd been talking about making a series of the Little House books for many, many years, and hadn't gotten around to it. Finally, in the 1970s, they did. And I went to a meeting. I was a child actress. My whole family are in show business. My parents ran a theater in Canada, etc. I had been in a couple commercials and a movie called Throw Out the Anchor, which no one ever saw. And so I went to this meeting, and they said, we're making a show of the Little House on the Prairie books. But I was one of those kids who'd never read the books, so I had no idea what they were talking about. And then they called me in, and I read for the part of Laura. Which would have been a very strange show if I had played Laura Ingalls. And then I came back and I read for the part of Mary. And I'm not a country girl. I was actually born in Queens, New York, and raised in Hollywood. And yay, Queens! And so I didn't get those parts, and they kept calling me back, and I thought, well, how many people do they have on this show? And they called me back to read for the part of Nellie. Now, if I'd read the books, I'd have been somewhat prepared, but I wasn't. So I get the script, and I'm looking at the pages, and my father's sitting there in the waiting room with me. I said, Dad, again, this is like not a normal part. This girl's a total brat. You gotta look at this. And I read it for him, and my father said, don't change a thing. Read it exactly like that. And it was that My Home speech from that Country Girls episode where I give the school essay, and it's all about how much everything cost at my house. And it really curtains and all the windows and bought furniture. And I went in and I read this, and there was Michael Landon and the other producers, Kent McCrae and Ed Friendly, and they were laughing hysterically. And they said, can you please read this part again? And being a good, well-trained little child actress, I said, yes, what would you like me to change? And they said, nothing, just read the part about the house again. And it was My Home is the best home in all of Walnut Grove. And I was hired on the spot, which I'm still trying to decide if the greatest compliment to my acting or the worst insult I've ever had. I don't know. I was hired immediately to play Nellie Oleson, and it became quite a big hit, as I found out many years later here. The show, as you know, is very successful, and we had a really good time doing it. I mean, that's one of the nice things. It's not one of these shows where all the actors like, we were on Little House on the Prairie and we hated it. We all actually liked making the show. We had a good time, and so we're all glad that everybody actually enjoyed it as much as we did. It was